This is a friendly warning just to let you all know that today's video will contain fake wounds and fake blood. If you can't stand the sight of these, please turn off now, otherwise continue to watch. Hi everyone and welcome back to another voiceover. So we're using two lots of foundation by Bperfect Cosmetics C1 and C3. We're just putting those together and blending it all over our face. I'm also taking it down my neck as well and putting it all over my lips, as you can see here. Okay, so next we are contouring and we are going to go wild with our contouring. So I'm using the liquid bronzer from the Beauty Crop in the shade Coconut, I believe. So I'm just literally, as you can see, just going extreme with it. Here we go again. So there we go, we're creating that nice little rainbow flick thing that I can only do on one side apparently. So yeah, we're going to go all extreme. So we're going to put quite a lot on our temples and everything. And then we're going to well, you won't see it, but I'm going to meet the two sides together, as you can see there, look. So I'm using my Spectrum B01 brush, I think, just to buff / blend all that out. I'm not going to be neat and precise because I'm being lazy. I'm going to use this to my advantage. Not only am I going to create like a very thin structure, I'm also going to use it as dirt on my face as well to give that impression, so it's less eyeshadow work. So I'm using one of my favourite palettes, Bperfect Carnival Antidote palette, and we are going to be using the shades Cinnamon, Pecan, Pretty Peachy, Ash and Latte. And first off we're going to go in with our P. Louise base in black. We just pop that on our lids. I'm just going to literally put a little bit above my eyelashes, not focusing it, just a little bit there, as you can see. Blending it out with an unnamed brush, because with this work, when I'm doing like a zombie look and I'm using latex and stuff, I don't use my expensive brushes, I use my cheap brushes, because yeah, getting latex out of brushes after you've used them is impossible. So I'm just blending that out like so. Whew, I'm out of breath already and I'm only just sat here talking to you guys. What's next? Don't ask me what shades that I'm using because I can't remember. I didn't write them down like I usually do. So the shades that I mentioned earlier, they're the only shades that I'll be using throughout this look. So I'm literally starting from my inner corner and blending it all the way out. As you can see, I'm using a Bperfect brush. Again, don't ask me the name because I didn't write it down. And I'm taking it down the sides of my nose as well. So this is like going to create like a sunken eye socket look, as well as a very thin facial structure as well. So I'm just using the same brush for near enough everything, as you'd see. Yeah, I think that's the shade Cinnamon that I'm using right now. I'm taking that underneath under my lower lash line too, and blending them together. Again, I'm not being very neat with this look. This is the shade Pecan that I'm putting all over my eyelids and blending it out. So we were creating like a bruised type effect on our eyes. So we haven't had much sleep in a while. I don't know why I'm putting makeup on for that, because you can tell that without me wearing makeup. Look at me checking myself out. So yeah, as you can see, the bronzer hasn't properly blended in, but that's not a problem. So I'm taking the shadow shade, I think it's Cinnamon, just to blend into set my bronzing contouring. I didn't go in with a proper bronzer / contouring shade. I wanted to keep to the same shadows that I wanted to do, that I used on my eyes, just to keep that what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think this afternoon. See, I'm just like taking it down the sides of my nose, swapping out brushes for various things as well. I think that now I'm adding the shade Ash now. Oh, now I'm adding, I think that's Pecan, onto my lips and blending it out because I went a bit too heavy-handed. Now we're going to be using some scar wax, latex and fake blood. So I'm just showing all the stuff that I'll be using for it. So I'm putting some latex on the front of my neck here. I'm trying to create like a open wound. So like I was bitten on the neck and my neck got ripped out. first time I'm using scar wax, and I should have practiced really. I'm not overly happy with how it came out, but at the same time I'm content with it. And so I'm like using the tools provided just to lift the scar wax away from the inside of my neck, if you will. And then I'm going in with the shade Pecan just to deepen that up so it looks at the inside of my neck. So yeah, just doing all that. It's actually set really well. I don't think I put foundation there either, so it looks really, really well. And so yeah, make sure you do an allergy test as well before you play around with latex. So now I'm just blending out the edges with my foundation, and I think it was just C3 I put on, or it was just one shade I used. I think it was C3 that I used. I can't be sure. I wasn't paying that much attention, to be honest. And now I'm just putting some latex on. So I've got some cotton buds / Q-tips if you're in America, and I broke them in half, and I'm creating like those muscles that you've seen in your neck. So I'm putting some latex down, and then I'm sticking the cotton buds on top of the latex. This was quite fiddly. Once you put them on, it was very hard to move your neck. So as you can see how my head is, that's more or less how I stayed, because I couldn't like bend my head all the way down. There was no it failed because the first Q-tip under my chin, it came out and it kept falling out, and yeah, I was just like, for God's sake. Getting this off in the shower was a bit of a nightmare though. So yeah, once I took photos and stuff, I went and had my shower. This was like at 6:30 in the morning I was doing this. Oh, so now I'm doing the fake blood. So this is what you call like the clotted blood. So it's like the chunky, thick blood. So I'm putting this in various places. I think now I'm using like the runny blood, which is called vampire blood. You can't see it because it's off screen, but it actually dripped down, and it stained my top that I'm wearing, and my sports top underneath that top that I'm wearing, it stained that as well. So I'd be careful. I'd wear tops that you don't want to wear ever again, basically, if you're playing around with fake blood / latex. Now I'm just like blending in some shadow and stuff. This is where I feel like I went wrong. If I left it how it was, it would have been better, but I didn't. But we live and we learn, don't we? So I think I'm going back in with more blood now, because it just seemed to have disappeared. And then it kept coming off the cotton pads as well. So I'm just putting some fake blood on my face to make it look like that I've eaten something. But I wasn't happy with the fact it was like exact rectangle shape. I wanted it to be smudged all over my face, but I couldn't get that look. So I'm just putting in some nude lipstick on the inside of my lip. It was Makeup Revolution liquid lipstick. I can't remember the shade that I used. And then I went in with some red. This one was by NYX. And then after that I went in with some black, which is also by Makeup Revolution. And I just like blended that lipstick out with my fingers, as you can see. I wasn't happy with how the red looked. It looked more pinky than red. But like I said not long ago, we live and we learn. Like if I ever was to do this on V-Look again, I'll probably do it a little bit differently. I'm not sure what I would do differently, but probably the lip combo for definite. And I'll probably like do a different wound, I suppose, or find something that will work a lot better than cotton buds. So now, as you can see, I'm trying to create like that I've just eaten something. But as you can also see, it was on the opposite side where it shouldn't be bloody. It was creating like a dead straight rectangle shape, and I didn't like that. But I couldn't make it round smudged, if you know what I mean. So I was just placing some blood smudges on various parts of my face. because zombies are not very hygienic. They don't shower very often. They don't care that they're wearing the evidence of their last meal. I'm going in with a dark green shade. I can't remember what dark. I think it's that dark green shade next Ash in the Antidote palette, but I can't be sure because again I didn't write the names down. But you can go with any shade realistically, as long as you choose the colours to resemble like bruise type of shades. So you want your oranges, your dark army greens, your purples, your musty yellows. You'll be fine. So I'm just like literally doing that on both eyes, obviously. Not being very neat, I'm just making it all smudgy and messy and all that. I'm just using a pencil brush. I think the one I'm using is either by Bperfect or Jessup. But yeah, use whatever brush you have at hand. I'm just like making it look like I'm a raccoon. What am I doing now? I have absolutely no idea. Oh, waterline. So I'm doing my water and tight line. Oh, look at that, fabulous. Well, that's it for today's video. Like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. That's it from me. See you next time.